Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and we're here to talk about the stock market. I want to take the time to answer a question that someone had asked on a previous video, and I like answering questions. I used to be a teacher, so if you ask a great question, I will come up with a great answer or go and research and give you my opinion on it. So someone asked about VIX. So VIX is short for the volatility index. What is volatility? Volatility is the ups and downs of the market. Primarily, I like to describe it as the turbulence on a flight. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, you don't like it. And it can be worse on some flights than others. This year, volatility has been wild. Some people call it the fear index. When people are fearful of the market, these types of investments shoot up in value very, very quickly. For example, there is a VIX, volatility index ETF. The stock symbol is VXX. And right when it hit, when the coronavirus pandemic really hit the US in early mid-March, this investment shot up like 300% within a matter of a few days. And that's what these investments do. When you have more fear, these investments shoot up in value. The question is, though, does it really make sense to have in your portfolio all the time? When do you employ these types of techniques? Do you need them at all? These are questions that you may have. I'm not a big fan of them just because they are very limited in use. So like this year, there's been a lot of fear. That's why they've been up. For example, VXX, and I'll pull this up right here so I can refer to it because I want to give you the wrong answers. So for example, VXX was up. This was March, and you can't see it. March 18th, it was up close to 356%. From March to now, it's only up 32%. And then actually, no, 23%. I actually flipped those numbers. So it's only up 23%. It shot up because that's when fear was, right? That's when the market dropped the most. And really, if you're looking at the chart, it's really in reverse. The stock market fell and it was like this huge dip, and VIX actually shot up. So it really goes in the opposite direction of the market, which in theory, when the market is good, which most of the time, not all the time, most of the times it is, this investment just really didn't do you all that well until things are flipped on its head like it has now. But if you tell me in 6, 7, 8 months ago I was up 300%, now I'm only up 23, I'm like, well, is that something I really want to do? If you do it, these are more of the short term, get in, get out type of investments when you know that there is like absolute fear and craze in the market, which is what we saw back then. Right now, you're going to hit some bumps here and there. So it's really, up to chance. It's a coin flip because we really don't know what's going to happen day to day. Sometimes we get great news for a cure or a vaccine, and next day we got X amount of people die because of coronavirus. It's not fun. So it's going to be hard to call from here on out. But I mean, that's the nature of the stock market. The other part of it that I see is comparatively, I don't know if it's the best thing I could do. For example, right now, year to date, from January to now, it's up just 23%. In comparison, though, Amazon is up 68%. I could have just held that the whole time. I would have made 40% more money. Or I could have gotten NVIDIA, a stock we've talked about. They had some record sales not too long ago. They're up 128%. If I just bought it in January and just held it all the way through, I'd have over 100% more in return. So, it goes back in this instance, when it comes to VIX, the volatility index, and all the ETFs that track it, there are more than one. It's a hard thing to do. To know when to get out and when not to, because even when this happened back in March, and you can go back and watch my videos, nobody knew how long this was going to last. No one knew how long it was going to last. I got videos saying like, maybe it'll be gone if we're lucky by summer. That didn't happen. Maybe it'll be gone by Halloween. That clearly didn't happen. And here we are moving into Thanksgiving and, Christmas, and it'll still be here until that vaccine gets rolled out and people start to take it. So we'll see. They are very interesting investments. They have so many different versions of this. So it depends on which ETF you select. But again, the VIX is the volatility index. It basically tracks the fear of investors. The more investors are afraid, the higher this investment rises. Once people are confident again, it starts to drop off. Another one is XVZ. XVZ is another one. That one is up 91% from January to now. That's great. But again, NVIDIA is higher. Tesla's up 400%. So it really depends on what you're investing in and what you're looking for and how long you're holding it. The reason why I look at the entire year and not just start to cut and paste and say, well, if you had it from March to like 2 days ago, you'd have X% is because anybody can do that. Like anybody can look at the absolute best scenario when it comes to timing. It's hard to time the market, which is why most of the times I don't do it. Another way that you could, not invest in the VIX, but also get a good return when the market is not doing well. That's where put options come into play. That's why we talk about options inside the investor toolkit, because another easy way or easier way perhaps to profit when the market is going down, depending on what stocks that you're buying the option from. So just another idea, one that in my view is a little more controlled and could make a little bit more sense. All right, that is it for me. Thank you guys for asking questions. Thank you for liking and subscribing and hitting the share button. If you have a question or want my opinion on an investment, let me know in the comments. If it's a good question and other people like that comment, then we'll talk about it. So make sure that if you see a question or a company that you want to talk about, hit like their comment too, so I'll know what to look for. All right, that's it. Talk to you guys later.